Look how sexy that engine is.
We found Mark here from Mark's Italian Garage. He's going to give us a little walk around in his garage today, and this is one of my fabrication heroes. The things he can make. He's a wizard. He's a real genuine wizard, and I recommend you check out his YouTube channel, which is Mark's Italian Garage.
Yeah, Mark's Italian Garage.
You might have seen him earlier in my video when we went on the members meet in Goodwood, and now we're actually going to see what he does.
Well, what I do is sell old Jaguars.
There you go, one part-time.
Michael Asphalt's Jaguar, 6 litre V12 for anyone.
Ooh.
So there we are.
I found a Nick Christmas likes old Jaguars projects.
Nick's already sold.
There you go,
Man,
6
look at
litre.
Jeez.
But it's lost its spark.
Lost its spark.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Just
see,
needs a
check the
little
spark
bit
plug
of
there.
love.
So
Still
I
got
think
rich.
it's got a mobiliser fault.
Oh, great.
But when it goes very well.
Well, it's an extra light edition, isn't it?
Extra.
Yeah, self-lightning.
Yeah. They tend to do that.
Days. In the summertime, you see it regularly.
Sound beautiful, isn't it? 500 arm off. Wow.
I told you it'd be worth coming down here.
That
I promised myself.
that is so cool, man.
Promised myself one of those for 30 years now. That's the
Jeez.
engine. Cougar Fisher fuel injection on the side.
Oh, it's so
I like the
sexy.
front up, so
Look
we
at
can
that
see
engine.
properly.
Look how sexy that engine is. Jesus, that is car porn right there.
Yep.
Oh, God, it's so sexy.
I can have one of those.
Oh, man, I'd have one in a heartbeat. It looks, without the wheels, it looks like a flying machine.
It does. It looks like a rocket.
But the design of it. Oh, that is a heck of a car.
A couple of Dinos, you know. The man himself. Oh yeah, just in case you thought there wasn't enough.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Dino floor pans I've just made. They're
Oh,
going
yeah?
to America. Yeah, they're going to a chap in America.
You did a whole series on YouTube on your
Yeah.
setting up the kit for that as well.
Yeah, so that's that. That's a 2.4 Dino Spider. Basically making all the bits for.
Yeah.
So I made them a couple of weeks ago. Those
Wow,
wheel tubs.
nice,
So they're all hand formed.
beautiful.
And all the panels that are in there I've made.
And of
All
course,
those
a few more panels to go.
Yeah, so I've got to do all the A-post areas, so all that's going to be done. So those, I've made all those. So there's new ones of those that I've made.
Yeah.
That's the lower. That
Nice.
goes on there. That closes that lot.
Did you like
the
Meccano as a
tubes.
child?
Made, yeah, exactly. Made the tubes, so they were missing. All this had been cut off, you see.
Yeah. Well, there's you can see the welds on welds and
That becomes that inner bit, that
Yeah.
structure. That
Yep.
becomes that one, which is that bit. And then on the outside of that, inside that goes that one. So that one goes in there like that. That comes the inside of it. So all that lot. Then
because
I've
this
got to do
car
some
actually
more.
didn't look too bad when you start stripping
Looked
it.
pretty good. But as with so many of these things, it had been so badly got at over the years.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
hidden.
So it'd been, you know, they sort of, you can see where there's a weld there. Well, that panel I've just shown you had been cut off and removed. That tube had been taken off, and then they basically welded a sheet that went straight over there. There's the remains of it. So it went straight over that, over to here, and then out to here.
Yeah.
And that's what they've done. And then that bit had all been got at. So,
Which was a cheap repair when this was a cheap car.
that was the original tub.
God.
So you can see it all been welded over the top. So they'd welded over the
ugly,
top with
isn't it?
paint and everything. So they put these plates on it. So you know that's sort of it. So there's
So
loads.
the plates
of
are
stuff.
just sheet metal from another car, isn't it?
Well, no, that is its original colour.
that's
That
the
is
original,
yeah,
okay.
But they're plated over it, so I sort of had to remove the plates to see what was left of the original for patterns. You see.
Yeah.
So you had it dipped then, did you?
No, this one was done with blasted.
Ah.
This like solar blasted, so
Okay.
it's not as abrasive as the grid. So you see, there's a panel they've welded in. That's for the other side.
Yep.
You see, so there's loads of stuff like that, and then they've welded a panel onto the panel, and then they've encapsulated all the rust in there.
Yeah.
So it's all just trapped inside it. So you can see that's what's left of the original. And they put some sealant.
There's a
in
little
it to
bit of
bond
that
it
in my Alpha as well,
So then if you go down
unfortunately.
this
But
way, so So you can see, yeah, so I've made
Oh,
that
you've done
bit
that
up,
side.
that bit, and then this
Yep.
one's the new one of those. And then this is a drain hole that goes in it, which I've cut out of there and reused that. So that's where the wiring goes. So it's all that stuff. But you can see the same, it's all been plated over. So you can see the welding where they'd weld stuff onto
Yeah.
it. So it's basically...
I can see the standard marks working too. Is
it's
really,
not that
really
it's
good.
outstanding, isn't it? Yeah.
But it's...
Beautiful piece of metal.
yeah,
I
so
think.
Yeah, look at that. All hand beaten.
Mark, this is beautiful bits of metal. The way you've done these.
they're new outriggers. So they're the outriggers for it. So it's just everything has to be handmade because you can't buy panels for it. That's a new front cross member for it. We might use that. We might be able to save what we got. And they're the wiring tangs that they wrap round, do the wiring. But I made one because I was making them anyway. An extra because we might need it.
What car is that?
This is one of those.
Oh, it's a Dino.
Yeah, this is Dino Spider. So this is 2.4. That's a 2 litre, and that's another 2.4.
Oh, okay, it's for a Dino.
So yeah, so this is all Dinos. So I do a lot, and there's another one next door.
Yeah.
So yeah, so there's so that's an Arbath TCR that I'm building. That's for me. That's a Maserati Ghibli 4.9, which I've just put the engine in. Yeah, so that's how the engine.
It is a
Well, that come in as an unfinished project. So that come up from Monaco. My,
It's got the original rubbers on the windscreen.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yes, Linda and Fabrice own this, and they sent it out for me to assemble because
That is a good-looking car, isn't it?
It is probably the
so many
sexiest
bits
car
are
I've
missing.
ever seen.
So they said, well, it's a sort of job for me really, where I can find all the stuff for it. So it's been a bit of a chore finding things for it. But you know, between finding things and making things, we're getting there. It's gradually getting there. Anyway, there we are.
A little bit of tuning to go.
Well, it's only just sort of
Being put in, yeah.
Yeah, I've just only. Well, I put the engine in a year ago. Then I had to take it out again to sort the clutch out because we didn't have a clutch for it at that point. But I put the engine in to work out how to make the gearbox cross member for it. So then I took it out again, and then I've had to put it back in. And it's taken another year to get all the bits. So we had to find a radiator for it, which had to come from America. It's just taken a long time to get the stuff.
yeah.
And so I only got it running on Friday.
Okay.
But I didn't rebuild the engine. The engine was rebuilt by somebody else.
We'll need a little
You can
bit.
do all that as well. Rebuild
Yeah, I'll
engine
rebuild
things.
engine.
He's a
I
wizard.
didn't do that one.
Sounds like he's a wizard.
So yeah, so
Yeah, you got educated in Hogwarts.
and then that's the Dino 2.4. Behind it is two Maserati V8s, the same as that one that we're just looking at. That's the Arbath engine, so that's on Cougar Fisher slide throttle fuel injection with an 8-port head. Behind it's the standard 600 engine, and that's a school engine, which is a cut away to learn. That's a 600 engine, and there's Fiat fridges.
CMC those.
How cool is that?
Not going to lose anything.
100 horsepower, so it was
Really?
plenty enough for that.
Definitely.
Yeah. So
Those fridges are epic as well.
yeah, so this
Oh,
is
so cool.
So that's that, and then next door through here.
Oh, it
is more.
reminds me of that looking at Granger fridge.
So there's another Dino, another Dino Spider, but this one's significant because this is an Agnelli car. So this was Umberto Agnelli's car. So Umberto Agnelli is the Fiat boss, Gianni's brother. Famously, Gianni Agnelli is the guy that owned Fiat, and his brother Umberto then took over the reins of it. But he was also the chairman of Juventus football team for many years, which his son's only just stopped being the chairman. So Juventus are Turin's football team, which is basically Fiat's football team. So that's a significant car. That's like having Henry Ford's,
Model T or something.
Exactly.
That's
And then this one is a Mistral Coupe, which I'm remetalling and making bits for. This was another Umberto, but this is Umberto Macchioli, who's a famous Italian racing driver, who Enzo Ferrari called him the world's best road racer. So in period he won the Targa Florio twice for Porsche as a works driver. He won the Mille Miglia, I think for Lancia, cars that he drove in period. You know, if you look at the names of the people that drove them cars, Maggioti's normally on there, so he's quite somebody. So yeah, that's important.
What,
And then
is this a roller? Sorry,
this English wheel.
A proper one.
This is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, lovely thing. Yeah. So those tubs, those wheel tubs I've just shown you, they were sort of smoothed out through it. You use them, put them
You brought that on hand luggage on the plane, didn't you?
exactly.
I want this in my lounge.
Yeah.
It's art.
Well, that's good for sills, isn't it?
Yeah, that's good. Well, that's the box and pan, so you can take the teeth out, and then you can. So if you're folding a box up, you can do the corners, you see, and then you don't scupper yourself. So that's that. That's your tooling, making them shapes in the floor pans.
Yep.
We've just had tooling made to do that. So this is we just made all this up with a friend of mine, an engineer friend of mine. So that's so I can punch that shape in the sill, you know, in the bottom of the floor pan. So that does that.
Wow.
So we made that tooling up. So that's that for those. So you can put that in.
Yeah.
That shape, you see. So you press that shape in. I made tooling up to press that in, and then that's for cutting that. So they are as factory. So that's
Before.
this is all Fiat Dino. So this is Fiat Dino Spider. So you can see they rust. So So once these are in, you wouldn't know
What's
know they're on
happened?
factory.
No.
So that's there. There's all sorts.
Well, I think the idea is 30 years from now, when somebody's restoring a car that Mark's restored, you won't be able to tell the difference of what's factory and what's Mark.
Yeah, I think so.
That's the idea. Just do them properly. Do them how they should be. There's more Dino engines under there.
Yeah.
Funny enough, that's the second Ghibli I've seen in about 2 months. The guy in Wales, a friend of mine, his name next door, he Oh, you did turn up,
These hinges come from a Lancia Fulvia, so I was able to get a set of them.
Done a video on
They're
making
the
these as
same-
well.
Oh, really?
They're the same hinges as Ferraris and Maseratis, but they put them on Lancia, so obviously getting Lancia ones is a lot easier. So I did that, and then these all bits. So I made that heat shield. I make all sorts of stuff, loads of things.
And that's your Ghibli.
That's a Mistral.
Mistral, sorry, yeah.
That's mine, yeah. So I'm gradually making all the chrome for it. I'm making the seats I've made are for this.
Yep.
So it's missing a lot of bits. So I'm gradually buying bits. Buying bits when I can find them and making stuff. So things like that petrol filler flat I like to make. That was missing, so I made that.
You're making that on the other car as well, so you can kind of double up.
Exactly. So
nice.
and then these are things like these are just little A-post covers that they have. So I had to make some of these for another car, so I made some extras.
You might as well. You got all the tooling up,
yeah.
so
Make all sorts of things. So yeah, gradually doing
It was dark. I took one photo and it's that.
Oh, very cool. No,
Nice
that's
colour,
exactly
though.
the same thing. Yeah.
That's like the economy.
Yeah.
Mid to late 80s, wasn't it?
It's the 80s crash. It's out the mess of the workshop, really.
yeah.
Um,
So Maggioli's sweat has been spraying on
Exactly.
driving around.
Exactly. And that's a silly thing I'm making, just a bit of fun. I'm making up that thing that's going to light up. So it's just of an old petrol
That's cool.
pump sign thing. And there's various things that I make. And there's some stickers.
Oh, I need some of those. Thank you very much.
I've got to make
So do you make that, Buck?
No, I had it scanned. I had the car scanned and then had it done. And that's the back end of that Dino Spider, which will go back on it, but I've got to rebuild
It's
the
got
arches and things.
A little bit of work, yeah. That's cool.
Yeah, so the guy wouldn't drive it if it's raining. He left it at home and take the bus from his brolly.
Beautiful.
So it's a lovely thing. I bought this to do the Arloff project with it, but it's too nice to muck about with.
Too good and original, yeah. That's lovely.
There's a lot over there if you need another one, isn't there?
Yeah, that's what I did. I got the other one, which was a bit more of a.
Just the door shut is so smooth as well.
Yeah.
And the 850, what's the old off 850?
That belongs to a friend of mine. That's but he's and I got the job and then bought that, because it was just sort of failed its MOT, and then I fixed it on my lunch breaks, and then we used it as a daily car, and then drove across France.
It's all good. It just needs a wipe down and.
Oh yeah. So, but I've turned it into a sort of sprint car, so we used it for hill climbs and sprints and things.